What is up, I Love Basketball TV? It's Coach Ryan Razooky, and today I'm going to be giving you 3 shooting drills to help you to become a much better shooter. Let's get to it. Now the first and most important drill that we have to have is make sure that we build a straight line and we can build a good rhythm. If we can do those 2 things, then we'll be able to shoot the ball a lot straighter, more consistently, and we'll be able to build range as we continue to do this. So number 1 thing is you can either get a stool or you can get a chair. I'm going to choose to use this stool right here. Now I need to make sure that my hips are loaded and dropped as the ball is also low. You do not want to have your hips go down as the ball starts to rise, because it's going to mess with your fluidity and you won't be able to shoot the ball as easily as you want to and with much less range. So first thing is ball low, hips low, right? That's number 1. This is already going to get us loaded in this position. Now, secondly, we also want to try to keep everything in the straightest line possible. So by doing this and placing it down, you can now already put your hands in the correct position. An easy way to do that is to go ahead and put this shooting hand right here on top of the ball, right? You can see how it's centered, and I want it slightly behind, just like that. Now you can see my wrist is loaded. This is the first drill, is just making sure that we can build our straight line and our fluidity. So loaded wrist, take the guide hand, put it right here. You can see how it's not directly on the side, but a little bit lower, right? My pinky actually touched the stool. And the reason for this is so that as I go up into my shot, you can see that my hands are not too close together, right? My left hand is right here. I can hold, secure the basketball nice and strong. My shooting hand is underneath the ball. And then when I shoot it, I'm keeping everything in a straight line. So ball starts there, right? Just making sure that you do this first drill correctly. We're gonna start fairly close to the basket. Put my shooting hand on the ball. You can see that it's loaded with my right hip. I'm going to take this left hand right here, this guide hand, put it right there with my pinky touching the chair or the stool, and now I can bring it up through my right hip, through my right chest, through my right eyeball, keeping everything in a straight line and shoot the ball, flicking it, right? This is drill number 1. We're starting close to the basket, putting that ball in a stool chair. We're bringing it straight up, pop. We want to make 10 right there. Pop. 10 in a row. If you're able to make 10 in a row, we're going to go ahead and continue to back up. But you see now that if I keep the ball low and my hips low together, now I'm loading into my shot correctly, shooting the ball the way I'm supposed to. For our second drill, we're focused mostly on rotation. There's a few different things that we want to do. You can do this seated or you can do it standing up. But if you have good backspin on the basketball, it'll also help your arc and give you softer touch of the basket. I'm going to demonstrate this sitting down first, and then I'm also going to do it standing up. But I want you to focus just on the upper body and on the snap of these 2 fingers here. For some players, it's going to be the ring in the middle, but I prefer to go index and middle. Regardless, you want to make sure that you're not letting it come off your pinky. So seated, it's going to look like so. You can see that I'm seated right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shoot that basketball about as far as I can and focus only on the rotation of the ball, allowing it to come back to me just like so. And if it does this, that means I'm doing a good job. You can see how it's moving back every single time I shoot it. So I'm really just focused on the flick more than anything, not necessarily on anything other than just making sure that I can get that ball to spin and come back to me every time. So this is what it looks like seated. But now what we're gonna do is do the same thing standing up. However, the only difference is that we gotta make sure we connect the ball on the hips. So we're starting low, we drop the hips, we drop the ball, let that ball spin, try to shoot it about as far as you can, and it should come back to you every single time. We're focused on that same rhythm that we worked on earlier. We're focused on the same shot path, and now we're just building that nice rhythm rotation into our shot as well. Ideally, try to get your elbow above your eyebrow every single time you shoot, or right about that pace. Not back to your ear, and not below your chin. This way you can have optimal arc, optimal rotation, straight line on your jumper, and good fluidity. So one more time, we can either do this seated or standing up. This might be hard for some players, but you want to focus on these 2 fingers right here, leaving the basketball. And then flick that ball, allow it to spin. It should come back every single time. The more rotations you can get on that basketball, letting it come back is going to be a lot better for your shot. Keeping that good arc on it, you'll be able to make more shots. Now that your shot is improved and you're shooting the ball correctly, it's also important that we're able to do these same motions and movements in a game and doing them game speed while you're actually doing moves or catching the ball on the run. So now what we're going to focus on is pickups, either off the catch or off the dribble. But first, with this drill, we're focused on off the dribble. So I'm going for 3 moves, 3 of the same move to start. So maybe it's 1, 2, 3 crossovers. Now you see how on that crossover, my hand is over here on the side, right? Because you can't cross over with your hand loaded into a shot. That wouldn't really make too much sense. So your hand's on the side, but what you need to do is be able to rotate your hand in place, lock your elbow, your wrist behind the ball, and then get straight into that shot. So one more time, we're going here. 1, 2, 3, and right off this cross, I need to be able to get my hands in position to shoot the basketball correctly, making sure that I get my hand loaded underneath, my left hand right here guided on top and on the side, and that way I can keep that straight line, good rotation, good arc, and shoot the ball the same way basically every time, even though I'm going through different movements. So we went with 3 crossovers. You can do the same thing between, 1, 2, between, and of course you're gonna end up with the other hand sometimes too. Pop, load up, straight into that same shot. Nothing should really change. Same thing behind the back, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, and load straight into that shot. Shoot the ball, same way every time. Now you can start to mix it up. 1, 2, 3, pop, straight into that shot. Now you see every single time I'm getting my hand under the ball, my hand on the side, I'm able to go ahead and snap that same rotation. Mix it up as many times as you want to. We're gonna do this one stationary first, then we'll add some stuff on the move. However, the hardest part is making sure that you can get good hand placement on the ball even off the dribble. Because a lot of players will do some moves and then they'll pick the ball up like so, and now you're having to rotate halfway through the shot. So the earlier that you can get your hands ready to shoot it, the better that you can actually shoot the basketball straight to the hoop, and that way you can be a lot more consistent. So now that we just talked about being able to do it off the bounce, we're also gonna do it off the catch. So you can either throw the ball out to yourself or have a partner throw it to you. But now as we're getting into our shot, you see how my hands are ready to catch the basketball, and my whole body, my hips are loaded, my hands are ready to catch it and shoot it without having to take any extra movements. Because if I'm catching the basketball standing up, now I have to drop my hips and then go up into my shot. Where you see me catch the basketball with my hands kind of on the sides, and I get that pass right here. Now when I catch it, I have to readjust my hands. This all takes time, and you don't have that kind of time in the game. So if you're able to drop your hips and then catch the basketball with your hands already ready to shoot, now I'm in the right position to shoot the basketball. It takes me less time, and I'll have to make any adjustments, less room for error. I have more consistency on my shots. Secondly, making sure that your feet are set and balanced. And I'm okay with turning your feet a little bit. The only problem is when players start to turn their feet a lot, they start to run into some issues. Now, I'm gonna shoot fairly square most of the time. However, there will be times when I shoot the basketball with a slight turn in either direction. A lot of coaches, trainers, or players are okay with people shooting with a little bit of a turn, which I am also okay with until it starts to hinder your ability to score. And so, for instance, certain players who turn like so, and align their shoulder, but this is a little bit too much of a turn. The problem is when you're getting into a shot going this way, now it's really difficult to catch that basketball and then swing your entire body over to get into that turn. And you might even be putting the basketball in the face of the defense. So that could be an issue there. Whereas you see some very advanced players who are able to catch the ball, even have their feet pointed this way, keep the ball away, and then get into that same adjustment period at the top, right? Same thing vice versa. I might come this way and bring that ball straight up, but it's always reaching that same spot right above my eye, right? And this is much more advanced. However, the most important thing is making sure that you are on balance, you're finally able to square up to the rim, whether it's earlier on the ground, which you should aim to do every time, or for more advanced players, sometimes in the air. Regardless, my elbow's always pointed straight, forearm to the rim, guide hand here, I'm able to shoot the ball, and you can see that I got a nice wide base. I'm dropping my hips, my knees aren't caving in, and I'm not too close together or too turned. So these few tips right here are gonna help you to become a much better shooter. And so with this drill, let's aim to do either self tosses or running into it. We want to make 5 in a row coming this way and 5 in a row coming this way. Nice base, straight line, get that shot going straight through the basket. We hope you enjoyed today's video, so make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you did, and subscribe as we're dropping new videos every single week. So make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you hit the link and the pinned comment down below, it's gonna give you access to our new shooting program. So make sure that you go get that one, as it's an incredible program and it's gonna help you a ton. We'll catch you guys in the next video.
Yeah, I'm shining bright, got me feeling like I'm next, so feeling like I'm Curry, how I'm balling on a West Wall. If you told me back then